All right, coming in at number 42 on our 2025 NHL draft rankings, it is the leading scorer from this year's U.S. national team development program under 18 squad. It's Cole McKinney.
Yeah, Cole McKinney is a very interesting prospect, Ross. With the NTDP in 60 games, he had 27 goals, 34 assists, good for 61 points. And in the U18s with Team USA, in 7 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. And he's committed to the University of Michigan for next season. So pretty typical path of a successful American prospect, if you ask me.
Feels like so far, and I mean, we've only done, this is our 8th profile, but I feel like we've already got multiple Boston University and multiple Michigan commits, including William Horkoff, who joined Michigan in the middle of this past season. Cole McKinney is 6 feet tall, 198 pounds, just turned 18 in March, and he's a right shot centerman. His highest rankings is our friends over at McKeen's that have him at 26. Bob McKenzie is at 38. Scott Wheeler at 40, Elite Prospects at 51, Craig Button at 56, Corey Prodman and Locked On NHL Prospects not ranked as of the time of this recording on May 28th. That means he comes in at 42 and his average rank is 42.2. What is there to like about McKinney if you're an NHL team hoping to add to your prospect pool?
I think there's quite a bit to like, Ross. He's a dual threat player, like you mentioned, 27 goals, 34 assists, so like fairly even in both categories. I really thought, looking at his highlights, Ross, that this kid's got great hands. He was pulling off some slick moves to get around or even go through guys. He can score in different situations. I saw him get breakaway goals, wristers from the circle. He can get those dirty goals in front of the net. And in the USHL games that he played, I believe it was, how many of those? 23. He had a shooting percentage of 23.8%. So he's able to put the puck in the back of the net when he gets the opportunities. And as a centerman, I think he's really good two-way as well. Like, you're going to see him make good plays on the other side of the puck. He plays both special teams, penalty killing and power play. Scott Wheeler mentioned that he's really good at faceoffs. And like we said off the top, he's a guy that, you know, some of these prospects, they're playing center in juniors and minor leagues. And you're thinking, okay, sure, they play center here, but once they get to the NHL, you're going to slide them over the wing. Not with McKinney. This guy is going to be a centerman. I don't think teams would even consider the idea of moving him off to the wing.
And Scott Wheeler also mentions that he expects McKinney to make the World Juniors team next season as an 18-year-old and play at the center spot. So for me, he's a safe, projectable pick that a team that has Stanley Cup aspirations should take, because at that point, you're not swinging for upside all the time. Sometimes if your top 6 is already set and signed long-term, this would be a great player where it's like, hey, eventually when we're making these runs year over year, we're going to lose some players to free agency that are going for a bigger payday. We're going to need to have another wave come in and help our bottom 6 and just not be afraid to put them out on the ice in situations, more favorable ones to start, of course. But it feels like with the fact he's going to such a well-respected program in Michigan, he's going to come out at a pro frame. Now, some would point to the fact that he's 6'0", as maybe you'd like your 3rd or 4th line centerman to have a little bit more size, but he excels in the faceoff dot. And I think that those pro habits and pro systems will outweigh maybe a lack of pro height in that position, if that makes sense. And if he's 6 foot, 215 pounds and can play on a penalty kill at the NHL level, he is going to have to work though on his skating a little bit. If he's going to get to the next level, that'll hopefully come for him in the development path. But you have to have a separating asset. You can be a good anticipation player. You can be good in the little areas, but at the end of the day, hockey comes down to shooting, skating, puck handling. And it feels like those 3 things, he's between average and good. It's not like those aren't the calling cards for him like they are for other players where you can point and be like, oh, that guy's a burner. Oh, that guy's shot is elite. Like, he's good, not great in those key areas, but where he does excel is the little things that would give you the sense that he will be an NHL player one day.
Yeah, I'm going to spin zone it though, Ross. This isn't kind of the jack of all trades that would put him in a negative light in my mind. I'd like to spin it more in a positive narrative, being like, this is a well-rounded player. I agree. He doesn't have that top attribute where you look at him and you know the one thing he does better than everybody. But for a guy that's going to project, in my mind, as a third line center, two-way, dual threat, I think he's a fine prospect. And Ross, maybe I'm off with this, but the player that kind of comes to my mind is a little bit of Shane Pinto, right? Like a guy that can shoot, pass, play a two-way game, excels at faceoffs. You're going to have him as a third line penalty killing center. Like, this guy reminds me a lot of Pinner.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if he's Shane Pinto at the NHL level, I think the team that drafts him is going to be thrilled. So do you think that means he's going to be an early second round pick?
I got him going in the middle round, Ross, just because this
middle of the second round, right?
Yeah, what did I say?
Just middle round.
Oh, sorry. Yes, middle of the second round. Just because this draft is so diluted with other centermen. I think if this wasn't a center-driven draft, we would see him go higher because, like we mentioned, this guy's not going to move to the wing, and teams covet guys that they know are going to stay down the middle. But yeah, I got him going middle of the second round.
Okay, and your Sens stars for Cole McKinney.
I give him 3 out of 5 stars, Ross, which I feel like maybe I'm on a bit of a run here of 3 out of 5 stars, but that's because I like the player, but don't think he's the fit or will be in the range of the Ottawa Senators. I don't know, like the Senators don't need a guy that fits this profile because they have Shane Pinto, and I think Shane Pinto is going to be an Ottawa Senator for quite a while. So 3 out of 5 stars for McKinney here.
Okay, Cole McKinney comes in at number 42 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings.